for me, when I think of Smash JT versus Colin Moriarty, I think to myself, Smash, you have the makings to be a vanguard leader in this movement, but every great leader has to have two things: the iron will to succeed, and for lack of a better term, the killer instinct to do what must be done to win.
Oh. You're saying it to him directly because he's here.
Hello, Smash.
Smash, thank you. And I think he says it very well. It was a good learning experience. I'm happy with how I held my own, and we will much better in the future. And that's exactly what we're all saying. You held your own perfectly, staying on topic, being especially being grounded, as he says later on in the chat, and keeping it on the topic. And when the goalposts changed, when the topic changed about his videos, he actually tried, and that's what I was trying to say in the beginning of my turn of speech. He tried to say, okay, you're telling me about the titles of my video. Go watch my videos and see that they're not clickbait, that I am talking about the games, and I am talking on the topic that I'm presenting on the titles. And
no, I'm not rewarding your bigotry. I am Colin Moriarty. I am not rewarding your bigotry.
Presenting uncomfortable
I will now speak over you because I'm Colin Moriarty.
Well, no, but
that's the bad thing. That's the bad thing that's happening. Because when someone's calling you out, they better have all the receipts. Colin didn't have the receipts, especially for that, and he didn't want to go in receipts. If it was, let's say. I'm gonna put myself in that spot. If I was calling out someone like that, and he says, "Okay, go watch my videos," okay, I'll say, "All right, I will," because I might be talking bullshit, by the way, or I would have done that beforehand. And he was talking about some of the videos that I've recently watched, and I was like, "Yeah, he's talking about those topics. He always talks about the topic. He's one of the least clickbaity people you'll see. Yeah, he has very, very attractive titles, but they're not clickbait. Clickbait is something else entirely.
Well,
it's like the grifter thing. It's like the grifter thing. They're calling us grifters, and they're the grifters.
Here's something.
Let Jose make his point first.
Here's a really good point, though. That when we look at this as people have been sort of fighting this culture war for like a long time. But if you think about like what happens if a normie who's just sort of figuring this stuff out watches Smash's video with Colin, you know what that normie is going to see? Hey, this Smash guy is reasonable. He's personable. He's being nice. He's not being a dick, and he's trying to make his point. This guy on the other side is being an absolute douchebag. So, like, if a normie looks at that and watches Colin become more and more unglued, more and more condescending, more and more of a dickhead on stream, it makes Smash look better. It makes Smash's point appear to be the reasonable point, which it is. So, like, let's say again, you show like a normie that is not involved in this culture war. I think that's more inviting to what the points that we're all making, as opposed to the points that psychos like Colin are making.
Do you know what the scary thing is? Well, do you know what the scary thing is, guys? And yes, this topic is getting long in the tooth, but it's
something that we need to discuss in thorough, because this needs to be showcased as much as possible. Because if this is not not intercepted, but it is not, if it's not out there in the clear, it's gonna entice a lot more people to use the same kind of tactics.
I'll tell you this, Helzo, right?
And do a lot of abhorrent things.
One thing the opposition don't do, right, that our side does, because I like making things black and white. It's easier to read the world in black and white. Just read a bit of Tolkien and you'll know what I mean, okay? But one thing the opposition don't do that we do, right, and it's kind of scary, right? What we do is pretty scary, and that's prominent creators watching up-and-coming creators, established creators, or just creators like myself, Roger, who are just starting out, right? That is something the opposition do not do, because it's a command and control structure that works like a pyramid, okay? Because they are of the mindset of, why should I, as a hundreds of thousands of sub creator. Look to this fucking no one with 180 subs and give a flying fuck what
you know how many
have to say.
You know how many times a leftist goes, "Well, your opinion's on Rumble, so it doesn't count."
Exactly.
They don't have
Yeah.
allegiances. They don't have.
You don't
They
have
don't
enough
have
views.
clear loyalties. Mark, what would you say, Mark?
Well, they often comment about how many views your video has or something to that effect. But you notice something that Colin did during that stream, which is becoming more popular in the left. A lot of them that come into the gaming space, we know don't really care about games. We know they're here to push an agenda and a message. And so we call them tourists, or we say they're fake gamers, or they don't really like games. So what are they doing now? Well, they're pulling a Pee Wee Herman tactic. I know you are, but what am I? They're saying, no. We're the tourists. We're the fakes. Colin literally said that Smash JT sounded touristy. And does Smash even like games? Do you guys even like? You don't. You guys are always negative. You don't even like video games.
It's like
To be
I
fair,
stream
I don't
every
like today's
single
video
day.
games. I like video games before they went full retard.
Well,
that's the thing is-
as Bash said, I stream every single day on my channel publicly.
Exactly.
I talk about video games in almost all of my videos, even though I focus
Precisely.
there's a lot of drama to focus about, and he's promoting video games. He actually mentions something like Expedition 33 every other video because it is now an example of a great game in
You know what they do?
2025.
They only
He doesn't
pay
listen.
attention
And
to
he
the
doesn't listen.
negativity.
And Colin doesn't listen.
Well, the funny thing about it is also that if Smash finds the time to game, he's got a lot of stuff. He's got kids, he's got a wife, he's got a life. Look, I know it. I got 3 freaking jobs outside of here. The only time I game is late at night usually because it's the only time I'm left the hell alone. Sometimes and some days you may not get to because you're too busy. It doesn't mean I'm not a gamer anymore just because I don't play every single minute of every single waking hour of every single day.
And I'm
And you know
telling
what,
you
Jason?
this.
I was fortunate enough to have a life, a girlfriend.
They're not
and
doing it
3
as
jobs.
well. They're also not doing it, but they're calling you out for not doing it.
You know what
because
else happens? If you release a video talking about, hey, I'm playing this game and I love it. Here's the reason I like it. It's not going to get the views of that video that criticizes Dragon Age Veilguard or points out the wokeness in Halo. It just doesn't get the views. So you learn not to do that.
And I just like to point out that the network is one of the few creator communities that have actually had game devs on our show. Folks like Subapath, folks like St. Hugo, our predecessor group had Cavolt Games on to cover the Great Rebellion and to cover various other projects that organization is working on. Not only do we just play games and stream them for our respective audiences, ourselves or our predecessors, which is, who we were before, because, 2 creators here relaunched their channels. I'm not going to tell you who, but 2 of them did. And we also take it a step further and bring on people who are trying their best to be the change that they want to see from all over the world, be it America, Germany, whatever's left of Iraq, all sorts of countries, okay? Imagine an Iraqi game dev that isn't just America bad. But I will make this clear right here, right now. We live and learn, we move forward, we press forward, we showcase the fact that Colon and his supporters, most of which are ankle biters, they have Smash derangement syndrome, and that is something that needs to be pushed forward, right? It's ideological endangerment, it is derangement, and I'm of the view, because Jose mentioned this a little earlier about both sides claiming victory before the battle starts. You have to have that mindset, unfortunately, because the middling moderates who try to sit on the fence so long that they become the damn fence, give the opposition the benefit of the doubt, then we're fucked and gone. And they're the last to be eaten by the tiger or the crocodile or whatever Winston Churchill used as a euphemism for appeasement. You cannot appease a tiger when your head is in its mouth.
This is true.
True.
So on that note, because we do have a...
How you do that? I
Oh,
would
more
just like to thank Roadkill as well, because every super chat, every membership,
We can't
every
use
sticker
noises.
is welcome because it helps my channel. It helps everything, and it helps with homeless animals and animals in shelters that we do regularly feed and provide care for. It's on my channel. Memberships will provide you with the footage, so you don't think I'm a tourist.
Did we quote Smash's comment when we got to it, or did we just reference
We
it?
did. I actually
good.
commented on what he commented as well.
Well, thank you to Roadkill for the nearly $10 donation. That takes it up to nearly $20, saying, quote, so if we can't use Noise's house for Creator House meetup, can we use Smash JT's? Well, the answer is no. First of
Because
all,
the basement is already full.
right, I told you this, Roadkill. If the network ever does a meetup, we're going to lure you into a building with Lilith, and then it's going to be like an Escape from the Back Rooms live action remake,
It's one of the Saw movies.
right? And I'm telling you this right here, right now. If my mentor considers someone too radioactive when he is considered too radioactive for certain people in our space, it's fucking radioactive. So no, we're not doing a meetup, okay? We talked about this. I know you're looking for a new woman, but I'm not sending you Lilith. So on that note,